tourism product. As a member of Parliament for St. Michael West, Rihanna Drive is a big part of that. If you sit down at that shop and you see the amount of taxis that come through, and when they're finished taking a photo at the monument, they then go and get a cold beer at the top shops or buy empty bottles and these bars in the area. And when you see it, you really understand what is really the lifeblood of our economy. Now, for those who say that we have an over-reliance on the tourism industry, I say look at the numbers. Look at the growth in the economy. Not only has tourism grown, but we've also seen tremendous growth in the construction sector. We've seen tremendous growth in the services industry. Barbados right now is encountering a boon in many different sectors, and tourism is also playing its part. So I would say that that's a good problem then, if we are growing and growing and growing in the tourism sector. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I promise that I'd be brief, and I am pleased to be able to add my voice to this great legislation that the Honourable Member has presented to Barbadians today. And with those few words, I'm obliged.
Thank you. Honourable Member for St. Michael West. True.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And I have to remember to refer to you as Mr. Deputy Speaker, because during my presentation, I kept mixing it up. Let me also thank all honourable members who have spoken in this debate. Indeed, it was an opportunity for us not only to expand on our policy position, but obviously to listen to other members and their contributions as we continue our quest to invest and build out the tourism industry in Barbados. I need not go through and review the rationale again behind the tourist accommodation bill. The fact that we want to ensure that we have registered accommodation to ensure that they adhere to the standards that we set. I don't have to remind the country that when you have unregistered, unlicensed tourist accommodation, there are consequences for the Barbados brand. And of course, though there are those who in the sector would claim that why is it that they have to be registered and others go unregistered. So I don't think it's necessary for me to rehash and go through the core elements of the bill. Suffice to say that I would like to inform the Honourable Chamber that there were stakeholder engagements. We had a number of meetings with the stakeholders. We had the Barbados Entrepreneurial and Tourism Association, the Beta Group. We engaged with the Intimate Hotels of Barbados, IHB. We had engagements with the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. And of course, we had a town hall meeting at the Lord Erskine Sandiford Center, and that was last year. So we had what I would consider to be very good stakeholder engagement, including the public town hall meeting. Barbados has to remain committed to product development. It is absolutely necessary if we want to continue to build out our tourism sector, that product, we have to maintain all aspects and all core values of our product as we sustain brand Barbados. I will quickly respond to some of the matters raised by the Leader of the Opposition. Not going to go into all of them. Suffice to say that, as I indicated in my earlier remarks, that come January of 2026, we will have our 5th Copa flight into Barbados. Of course, the board and the management of the BTMI, I always have an opportunity to engage them, and I've said to them, I want to see a daily service but they're working and they're getting there, and certainly moving from 1 flight to 5 flights, especially in an environment where you have multiple challenges associated with aircraft delivery and engines and so on. As I mentioned earlier in my speech, we're coming a long way, but we are getting there. With respect to the what the visitor arrivals would suggest, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition implied that we are dissecting or somehow removing lift from Miami and that Barbadians are traveling elsewhere. I would like to remind the Honourable Member of the Leader of the Opposition that we still maintain very good loads coming into Barbados from Miami. So if his assertion is true, then something is wrong, because we're still bringing more traffic into Miami on both flights coming into Barbados from American Airlines on a daily service. And we also had the Copa flight with very good loads as well. Suffice to say, though, that I have been advised that year to date, the Latin American market is up 18%, and year to date. And the fact that the Latin American market is up 18% suggests that and these are visitors, we're not talking about locals. It therefore means that we are going in the right direction. And of course, with respect to airlift, we are pursuing our airlift strategy. And I spoke about it at length during my earlier presentation, so I'm not going to go there. But let me also tell the country that if you don't have very good loads, then the airlines aren't going to fly to your destination. And we are fortunate in Barbados that we, under this Barbados Labour Party government, that we have been increasing not only the number of flights into Barbados, but the number of passengers coming into Barbados as visitors, and also increasing particularly out of the United States of America, or air seat capacity into Barbados. Community tourism is always a discussion point. It is not the first time that we're hearing from the Leader of the Opposition on the whole concept of community tourism. But I would like to remind the Honourable Chamber that I represent St. Michael West Central, and I see a number of tourists with vacation or rental accommodation in St. Michael West Central. I drive around Barbados and I see people in communities. I recall only just recently when we were in St. James North in the by-election campaign, that if you look at the number of vacation rentals in that constituency, that area of St. James in particular, you will see the number of persons, and these are not only owned by foreign persons, majority owned by Barbadians, who are indeed inviting visitors not only into their homes, into their communities, but also building out what I consider to be the linkages, not only within the community, but overall in the country. So I'm not going to argue this issue about whether or not there's community tourism or not. Barbados is a large community, I accept, but suffice to say that we need even more activities to ensure that we generate even more spend in the economy. And therefore, we are going to continue to seek out opportunities. We have done, as I indicated earlier, an attraction study. There are a number of attractions that the consultant readily identified, and those attractions that we've identified will also redound to the benefit of all communities across Barbados. But there will be a time and place when I'll be in another position to speak and to announce those initiatives as they relate to the further development of the tourism product in Barbados. The issue in respect of the concessions, Mr. Speaker, not so long ago, I believe it was in July, I detailed the number of concessions that the Barbados Labour Party government would have announced. I thought, for example, the benefits that we have given to all cook shops in Barbados, where they can get duty-free food and beverage equipment, where they can buy food and beverage equipment in this country duty-free. That is a significant, be it a rum shop, be it a cook shop, wherever, once you can justify that it is a cook shop within your business, you are entitled to the concession. I spoke about the concessions that Over time, we've given to the taxi operators, including duty-free status to the taxi operators that we renew every 5 years, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we maintain our product. And we've not so long ago, during the budgetary presentation, given persons within the restaurant community an opportunity to benefit from duty-free protein as well as wines if they meet the threshold of 60% foreign exchange earnings into Barbados. So I'm not going to rehash all of that this evening. I want to also remind the Leader of the Opposition, and I rose on a point of order in respect of this matter, but for the avoidance of doubt, to let the country know that the product unit as it is known now, that will become the licensing and compliance unit, will not be housed within the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. And there is good cause and reason for that departure. It was there before. The Democratic Labour Party government moved it into the BTMI, and it has now gone back to where it belongs. And like I said, on another occasion, I'm sure perhaps when we're in the political hustings, I will have an opportunity to even expand on that point. The Leader of the Opposition raises issue about a slogan with Mr. Speaker. The board that I have at the BTMI will obviously have to follow certain policy instructions. I don't run the day-to-day operations of the BTMI, and I don't chair the board. But Mr. Speaker, let me make it very clear. There's no board that will ever attempt to engage in an exercise without first briefing me after they've taken any potential policy decision. Because the one thing we're not going to repeat is any attempt to, at any junction, to compromise brand Barbados. I give the Honourable House the assurance that certainly as long as I am Minister of Tourism, it certainly will not happen. And I am a firm believer that Barbados is still holds true to that wonderful construction of a slogan that we have, beyond your imagination. And I'm a firm believer that in tourism you play your part, Mr. Speaker. So I have no illusions whatsoever. I'm not aware of any changes to the slogan within the BTMI, so I will not speak to that issue, but certainly I give the House the assurance that these matters will be dealt with as we continue to improve the product, in tourism product in Barbados. Mr. Speaker, I want to quickly reference, Deputy Speaker, sorry, I want to quickly reference the transitional provision within the Act. It's at clause 42.1, which speaks to the fact that notwithstanding anything contained in this Act, a person who holds a license that was issued in respect of tourist accommodation before the commencement of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority Repeal Transfer of Assets and Liabilities Act 2025 and is deemed valid and safe pursuant to sections 6 and 7 respectively of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority Repeal Transfer of Assets and Liability Act 2025 is not in contravention of section 4 of this act and shall for the duration of the license be treated as if he holds a tourist accommodation license issued under this act. And 2, for the avoidance of doubt, nothing in subsection 1 entitles a person solely by virtue of holding a license described in that subsection to a tourist accommodation license. So I just felt it was absolutely necessary for us to clarify that point. And I also wish to make the point at clause 43 that the Hotel Proprietors Act 309 is repealed. And also to not only for the benefit of the House, but also for the benefit of the country, to inform that at clause 26 of the bill, there is a provision, clause 26.4 of the bill as part of the records, there's a provision, Mr. Speaker, that an operator shall submit by the 15th of each month, submit a report in the prescribed form to the Minister on occupancy in the tourist accommodation for the previous month, projected occupancy for the current month, and such other information as required. Now, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, this is important because if we're going to plan out the tourism sector, we need to know, for example, if we believe that there's a trough period and the data that we are receiving suggests that we need to go there and take action as a Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. or as a ministry's policy directive, that information will also help us in terms of planning our marketing strategy, also looking at those periods that are slower than budgeted, if that were the case, but also to give a macro indicator of what is happening with the tourism sector. Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, I did indicate that this would have been a cognate debate, and with your permission, you so agreed. And the Barbados Tourism Product Authority Act, which is an act to repeal the Barbados Tourism Product Authority Act 2014 and to transfer the assets of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority into the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. and the Ministry of Tourism and International Transport. Clause 3.1, the transfer of assets and liabilities, which is at Clause 3.1 as indicated, but more importantly, at Clause 4, staff to be treated as continuously employed. So there's absolutely no doubt there will be no adjustments to the staff. The staff will continue to work, and of course, their terms and conditions would be obviously secured. So I really believe that in protecting the workers, we talk about protecting the assets in the repeal bill, and that is why the repeal bill is necessary. I indicated that I'm not going to delay the House unduly, but I believe that I should, before I close, thank the officers of the ministry. And sir, if you would permit me, I didn't ask your formal permission to call the names into the record. I hope you don't object. Thank you, sir. I would like to first of all thank the team who's here with me and who's been with us from 10 o'clock this morning. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and International Transport, but responsible for the Tourism Division, Mrs. Francine Blackman, who's here. Also the Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., Ms. Andrea Franklin. And perhaps I'm sorry that the Leader of Opposition didn't leave his seat, because he would see that we don't have a person that he would allege to be expatriate, but that we have a local homegrown lady who is leading the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. as its CEO, as it says, Ms. Andrea Franklin. We also have present with us the officer in charge of the product quality unit, Ms. Lana Harewood, who's with us, who's been a significant driver, and one who has defended all aspects of this bill, and who is an excellent proponent of most of the matters contained within the bill. It was just my task to, on occasion, challenge them, and they rose on each and every occasion to the challenge, and that is why today we have the tourist accommodation bill. And of course, Ms. Nicole Bancroft, who works with Deputy Tulana in the product quality unit. Of course, like Lana, Nicole obviously said would have defended most of the items that they would have put in their policy document, and they would have both worked tirelessly with the CPC, the Chief Parliamentary Council, to ensure that the bill is here in its finest form. And also to thank Mr. Mark Durant, our Director of Research and Planning within the ministry, somebody who we work overtime, and we work very hard to ensure that a lot of the policy papers that I spoke to today relating to linkages policy, the young luxury traveler, and all the other policy papers, including sports tourism, that he's worked on. I want to say to him thanks once again for his contribution to the development, not only to research and planning, but a lot of the policy papers that we've been able to dislodge from the ministry and take to the cabinet for approval. And I'm very happy to say that we've not had an occasion where our policy papers would have been rejected at the level of the cabinet. So I want to thank the officers for their time, and all others who are not here with us, but who, of course, continue to give of their best and strive for excellence within the Ministry of Tourism and International Transport. I want to thank all honorable members as well who've spoken in the debate. I've taken note of all the matters that I believe were worthy of further follow-up, and that we shall do. And to say that this is perhaps just an additional step in the journey as we continue to not only build out the product development of the tourism sector in Barbados, but as we continue to enhance and nurture brand Barbados. So, Mr. Speaker, with those few words, I beg to move that the bill be read a second time.
The question is that the bill be read a second time. All those members in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I beg that the House, that you do not leave the chair and that the House resolves itself into committee.
The question is that I do now leave the chair and the House resolve itself into committee. All those in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
Committee.
Mr. Chairman, permission to call in parts.
Permission so granted.
Part 1, clauses 1 to 3.
Mr. Speaker, I beg that parts 1, clauses 1 to 3 stand part.
The question is that part 1, clauses 1 to 3 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Part 2, clauses 4 to 7.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that part 2, clauses 4 to 7 stand part.
The question is that part 2, clauses 4 to 7 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Part 3, clause 8.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that part 3, clause 8 stand part.
The question is that part 3, clause 8 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Part 4, clauses 9 to 26.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that part 4, clauses 9 to 26 stand part.
The question is that part 4, clauses 9 to 26 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Part 5, clauses 27 to 33.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that part 5, clauses 27 to 33 stand part.
The question is that part 5, clauses 27 to 33 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Part 6, clauses 34 to 44.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that part 6, clauses 34 to 44 stand part.
The question is that part 6, clauses 34 to 44 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. I think the ayes have it.
Report. Minister, report, please. Report.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that you do no report to His Honor the Deputy Speaker the passing of one bill in committee.
The question is that I do no report to His Honor the Deputy Speaker the passing of one bill in committee. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
I do wish to report the passing of one bill in committee.
Mr. Deputy Chairman, I beg to move that this bill be now read a third time.
The question is that this bill be now read a third time. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that this bill be now passed and be cited as the Tourist Accommodation Act 2025.
The question is that this bill be now passed and be cited as the Tourism Accommodation and so cited. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
Order number 6, sir. In the name of the Honorable Minister of Tourism and International Transport, to move the second reading of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority Repeal, Transfer of Assets and Liabilities Bill 2025.
Mr. Deputy Chairman, I beg that the bill be read a second time.
The question is that this bill be read a second time. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg that you now leave the chair and the House revert to committee. Resolve itself in the committee, sorry.
The question is that I do not leave the chair and this House resolve itself into committee. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
This honorable House is now in committee.
Permission, sir, to call it in calls of 5.
You may proceed, sir.
Clauses 1 to 5.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that clauses 1 to 5 stand apart.
The question is that clauses 1 to 5 stand apart. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Clauses 6 to 10.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that clauses 6 to 10 stand apart.
The question is that clauses 6 to 10 stand apart. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Schedule.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that the schedule be the schedule to the bill.
The question is that the schedule be the schedule to the bill. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that you do now report to His Honor the Deputy Speaker the passing of one bill in committee.
Beg to second that.
The question is that I do not report to His Honor the Deputy Speaker the passing of one bill in committee. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
The chairman of committees report that there is a passing of one bill in committee. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it. This bill is now passed.
Third time. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg that this bill be now read a third time.
The question is that this bill be now read a third time. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that this bill be now passed and be cited at the Barbados Tourism Product Authority Repeal Transfer of Assets and Liabilities Act 2025.
The question is that this said bill be now passed and so cited. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye. All those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it. This bill is now passed.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, revert to papers.
Honorable member for Christchurch East.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to lay the duties, taxes, and other payments exemption, the Marinara Inc. Order 2025.
Revert to government business.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, with that, we've come to the conclusion of the business for today. I beg to move the adjournment of the House until the 7th day of October at 10 a.m., where we will have the joint sitting of both houses to complete the formalities in relation to the new president of Barbados. Second.
The question is, this House be now adjourned until the 7th of October at 10 a.m. All those honorable members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say no. This House now stands adjourned until the 7th of October, 2025 at 10 a.m.